if you're tuning in, first and foremost, thank you. Second of all, I want to give a little intro before you guys start watching. This is Cigars and Coffee number 1. We're going to taste cigars. I talk more about it in the video. But there was a little bit of a problem. I was so excited to make this podcast that I forgot to start recording the audio until about 4 minutes in. So the first 4 minutes, it's not horrible, but it's not going to sound as good as the end. So if you're listening to this on a podcast, which you can do if you didn't know, on iTunes podcast or Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts, you can listen to a podcast there. So for all my podcast peeps, sorry, but let's get this thing rolling. Welcome everyone. This is the first episode of The Lounge. Today's Monday, April 30th, and I'm introducing this new show to YouTube and to all you that are interested in watching, because I feel like there's not really we don't really have a presence on YouTube. I know we want to do like a podcast style, so tomorrow we'll be interviewing Nestor Miranda, and then next week is Casa Cuevas, I believe. So I really I want to break down each day into a different segment. I want to release something every day, and so Mondays, I know everyone is super tired on Mondays. You know, the weekends just ended. It's time for work, and here in Miami at least, all the Cubans, and not even the Cubans, because once the Cubans got here, we kind of transitioned, or how do I say this? We kind of gave everyone the coffee addiction that we had when we came over from Cuba. So a lot of us start our days with traditional espresso, by pilon, or the other, what's the other one? La otra, la llave. I don't know what the other coffee, but pilon. Pilon. Everyone knows pilon, and so. The segment today is cigars and coffee, so I want to go ahead and give you guys a cigar that I think goes good with coffee and early in the mornings, and then every day from now on we'll talk about a different cigar, and we'll talk with different people about different cigars. And so the first one today is called the Undercrown Shade by Drew Estate. Now this one's really hot here in the store. We got a couple boxes a couple of weeks ago, and ever since we got it, I've been recommending it to everyone who asks for a nice light smoke. I really enjoy smoking this one in the mornings. The label's really nice. It's this white gold. Overall, it's a Nicaraguan blend, so you'd expect some spice. It's not too overbearing, so I think it's really good for the mornings. It's light bodied. It's not gonna kick you in the butt when you smoke this. So I think it's a good cigar to smoke any time of the day, but if you're looking for a cigar to smoke in the mornings with your coffee, or early in the day before lunch, after breakfast, this would be a nice light cigar that wouldn't be too harsh on you. And so I'm going to go ahead and cut it. Cut it over here. Give it a nice straight cut. I know some people say the V cut gives you more flavor, this and that, but just to set a standard, I'll give everything a straight cut, just so that every cigar I taste, has the same routine behind it, and so it doesn't alter any flavors. I don't get anything I don't want. I'll take a sip of this coffee. I feel like you guys can already feel the caffeine from this espresso going in. I have a whole jar right here, so if I want more, I'll just grab some more later. I'm gonna go ahead and light it. Now, to be quite honest with you, sometimes in the mornings I don't have coffee, and I'll go ahead and smoke a cigar without having any coffee. This is one of the cigars that I haven't tried along with coffee, so, and for reference, like, I'm not a big cigar aficionado. I've only been smoking for like 2 years now, and I just want to see, what flavors bring out, what flavors get brought out with the cigar and with the coffee. So I'm gonna go ahead and puff on it. Light it some more. I've always said this is a cigar that's like very woody, cedary taste. Very little spice. It's a great cigar. A lot of people that come into the store really enjoy this cigar. We probably #1 selling Connecticut right now. It's a really good cigar. Now this coffee is really good as well. The coffee adds like a nice texture, I guess I would say. You feel like a when you taste the cigar, at first, you really tasted like bark. And I want to say like oak bark, like when you're drinking whiskey, and that very light aftertaste that you get. Along with this coffee though, you start tasting leaves, like in a forest. So the coffee adds kind of like a cool flavor to it, or maybe the cigar adds a cool flavor to the coffee. You definitely get more flavor out of the cigar after tasting the coffee, taking a sip of the coffee. You get a lot more flavor out of it, and it feels. I want to say I'm brought to a place like in South Africa, not South Africa, South America. Again, I have no idea. I've only been smoking for 2 years. I'm really not an aficionado or anything. But I'm brought into a place, it's like the Amazon rainforest. I can taste in the cigar after I've had the coffee. And it's, if I'm not mistaken, I think, oh my God. Yeah, okay, I guess. And I guess the coffee really brings out, I'm sorry guys, I wasn't recording the audio on the laptop, so I just switched over to the mic right now. Yeah, I know. Jesse's looking at me from behind the camera. She's like, "Oh, what's going on?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it. My laptop's over here." So like, I was like, "Oh my God, I forgot to record." First episode of The Lounge. I already messed up. My dad's gonna be on my ass later. It's all right. It's all right. You know, hopefully the air conditioning wasn't too bad. You could hear what I was saying. But yeah, this is a really good combo. Apart from the fact that it's a really light cigar and that you could have it in the mornings, I think the coffee adds like this is, coffee always adds a different dimension to anything you have after. Like you drink some coffee, you have a mint chocolate or like a mint, like it feels like your mouth is on, like you're eating an ice cube. But like, so I guess a cool flavor would usually come. Maybe that's just after hot things, but coffee in particular, like you drink some coffee, you have a mint, you know, it's like eating an ice cube again. Like, let me see. You could hone in the flavors more. And I'm sorry, but like, I just have to say, like, I was so excited to start this episode. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to crush it. I'm going to go in. I'm going to do my thing. And then I start my rant and I start talking. And then, of course, the audio wasn't recording at first. So if you're listening to this on a podcast, I'm sorry. If you're still listening to it, thank you. If you're still watching this on YouTube, thank you. I don't know how long it's been. But I think, you know, in general, this cigar goes very well with this coffee. It's a nice light cigar. It's not too heavy at all. I definitely recommend it. You know, like, thinking back, we should have probably started this podcast a long time ago. And just to be real with you, the reason I didn't start it was just, honestly, because I was too lazy to. Because, like, what am I doing right now? I have a camera set up, I have a mic, I have a cigar, and I have a candy store full of cigars. And I just never really felt like starting it until now. And I don't know why, you know. I know yesterday was, and I'm saying yesterday because I'm pre-recording this, and this is launching April 30th, right? Yeah, April 30th. And so, you know, like, this isn't too hard. And I don't want to sit here and preach to you, but, like, you find something you like, and, like, I like cigars, but am I really going to sell cigars for the rest of my life? And what I'm saying is, like, you have to find something you love to do. And you have to really, like, grasp. It's probably the hardest part is finding something you like to do. I've always liked making videos and doing things on media, but I've never really had the opportunity to do something like what I'm about to do right now. Like, this is literally, like, the first baby steps of doing what I think I'm going to do, or what I'm going to do and what I'm planning on doing. This is just, like, the very beginning of it. And it's about growing your personal brand. It's about who you are. People don't care about the brand anymore. They care about the people. Like, you think of Facebook and what happened to Facebook. Like, Zuckerberg is the one sitting at that conference, in Congress. It's not a bunch of his executives. It's him. He's the man. And I'm just going on a rant right now. I don't know if you guys care about this. I don't even know who's still watching up to this point, but you got to find something you love, and you got to really dedicate yourself to it. Like, I love making videos. I like smoking cigars. I guess I love smoking cigars, but I like making videos. So, like, this isn't too hard. You can make videos on your phone, post it to YouTube. Maybe like gaming, you open up a Twitch channel, or you start gaming, recording yourself game, put it on YouTube. Even if it's just your friends at first. Like, now I sound like a preacher and I sound like I know what I'm doing, which I don't know what I'm doing. You have to understand, I have no idea what I'm doing. Excuse me. But, like, cigars are something to have a conversation about. I'm just trying to have a conversation. It's so hard when the camera's right there and there's no one on the other side, and it's like I'm just talking to myself and I'm trying to think about things to talk about. Probably cut this out later, maybe not. But, at the end of the day, the cigar goes really well with this coffee. The coffee is just a pilon. Maybe we'll have some different coffees to try. And so that's basically it. Thank you for staying tuned for this long. We're going to have a lot more conversations. I'll probably bring in another guest here so I could be talking with someone over this coffee. But for now, it's just me. And for now, it's just us, me and you. And so I want to say thank you if you stayed this long. Send me a DM on Instagram at Gables Cigars. Okay, DM me on Instagram at Gables Cigars if you stayed till the very end, and I'll send you something. Because I really appreciate our fans, and I want to thank you for watching all the way through. If it's 100 people, man, my dad's going to be pissed, but, I'd be even happier if 100 people DM me on Instagram saying I watched till the end. I really like what you had to say. Even if you don't like what I had to say and you stayed just to laugh at me, DM me and say that, and I'll still send you something. Because I want to show you guys, like, I really care about the viewership. I'm doing this every day. I'm going to have a different podcast going up every day. I'm going to have a, podcast video, whatever. So you can follow us on Instagram at Gables Cigars. DM me on there. Follow us if you want. Subscribe to the YouTube. Again, every single day. Let me give you a rundown, actually. So Mondays, it's going to be cigars and coffee. So I'll have a different cigar that I think goes well with the coffee. Tuesdays, it's Let's Talk Tuesdays. So tomorrow we'll have Nestor Miranda on from Nestor Miranda and La Aurora. Wednesday is Whiskey Wednesday. I'm going to give you cigars that I think go really well with the whiskeys. I don't know which whiskey we're going to pick yet. I don't know if we'll have a rotation of whiskeys, but Wednesdays is cigars and whiskey. Thursdays is Throwback Thursday. I'll tell you guys about what happened this week, not only in the cigar industry, but also, in general, things of importance that happened during the week, like this week, 20, 30, 50, 100 years ago. Fridays, I'll give you my favorite cigar of the week. And Saturdays we're doing something a little special. It's called Social Saturdays, and we're in the Gables right now. You'll probably, you could be in Kentucky, New York, wherever you are, but Saturdays I'm going to do something called Social Saturdays. I'm going to go around to different businesses here in Coral Gables, and then I'm going to go interview them and show you guys, small businesses that I think really need the spotlight on them. I think they're doing a superb job, and I don't think they get enough attention here, especially on Miracle Mile. After all the construction that went down, it was like 2 years. And, the foot traffic went down a lot. Businesses had to close left and right. There was, I read on the New Times or something like that there was a business here on Miracle Mile that was, Jesse, it's okay. There was a business on on Miracle Mile that was there for like 50 years, and they had to close down recently because they weren't bringing enough foot traffic in, and so they weren't making enough money. They couldn't make rent, so they had to close down a 50-year-old business. I think we were lucky enough to have opened up right after construction had happened, so we never really we don't know what foot traffic at its peak is supposed to look like over here. And so we adjusted at first to just having no foot traffic. My dad says it was bad the first summer. Summer is always the low, and so that summer was especially bad right after construction had happened. But now, we start seeing the foot traffic go up. More and more people are walking in saying they've never heard about us. We've been here for 2 years. And so, it's going really well. I forgot. Oh, and so I want to highlight some small businesses and restaurants, boutiques, whatever they are, that did a good job during that mini recession here in the Gables, and that deserves some applause for what they did and for what they do. Like, I know there's a bunch of boutiques that specialize in like gift sets or something like that. I don't know. I'm going to do the research, and I'm going to take you guys this weekend. I'm not sure, because at the time of this recording, I haven't booked somewhere to go yet. But without a doubt, this Saturday, I'm going to take you guys somewhere here in the Gables, and it's going to be fun. Thank you guys for tuning in. You can follow us on @Gables Cigars on Instagram. Again, the Drew Estate Undercrown Shade, great morning cigar. Pilon, the Cuban coffee of the Cuban dream. It was a great coffee. I already feel the caffeine going through my bloodstream. And so subscribe, like the video, whatever they say after the YouTube videos, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Thank you guys so much for watching. You could follow us on Instagram @Gables Cigars, and you could also listen to us on iTunes Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google, wherever Anchor.fm broadcasts to, you'll find us on. It's all the major ones, so you could go and listen to us there. If you don't want to watch the entire video, but you want to listen to what we had to say, you can follow us and subscribe on there, or you could subscribe here on YouTube so you can see the newest videos whenever they come out. Thank you so much, and catch you tomorrow for Let's Talk Tuesday with Nestor Miranda.